so many shows consistently dropping across streaming services, sometimes a true hidden gem slips through the cracks. And for me, that gem was Scavengers Reign. Now, I know I'm a little late to the party on this one, but honestly, better late than never when it comes to discovering something this unique. Now, with the show Scavengers Reign, the story follows the surviving crew of the Demeter 227 who crash lands on the mysterious planet Vesta. Separated into different groups, the survivors must navigate an alien ecosystem that is both beautiful and absolutely terrifying. In the main storyline, it follows Sam and Ursula trying to navigate the planet and reconnect with other survivors. And on the other corner of the planet of Vesta, we have Ozzy and her robot Levi exploring the ecosystem as well, just trying to survive on the planet, while just as of Sam and Ursula trying to find any surviving members, but they are forming one of the show's most fascinating relationships and exploring very different ideas that we have seen in other science fiction. And last, there is Kamen, who becomes entangled with a mysterious telepathic creature known as the Hollow. And with all 4 or 5 of these characters, if you want to include Levi, each storyline explores survival from a completely different angle. One of the first things that immediately stands out about this series is the stunning hand-drawn animation. The show was produced by Titmouse in ink and Green Street Pictures, and the production reportedly took over 2 years, with animators from around the world collaborating remotely. And you can really see the effort on screen. The landscapes on Vesta are breathtaking. The environments feel alive in a way that most science fiction shows doesn't even attempt. Plants react to characters, creatures behave like real wildlife, even the terrain itself feels unpredictable. Watching this show sometimes feels like you're watching a National Geographical documentary, except it takes place on an alien planet in deep space. And especially when it comes to the ecosystem that they have created for the series. Every episode introduces strange alien organisms, bizarre plant life, creepy crawling creatures, and biological systems that characters have to learn how to interact with just to survive. It keeps you constantly curious and sometimes a little uncomfortable at times. When it comes to the characters, for the most part, I really enjoyed the cast of characters that we followed throughout this series. But the standout storyline for me was definitely the relationship with Ozzy and her robot Levi. Their dynamic becomes one of the emotional cores of the story, especially when Levi starts out as a standard utility robot, but as the story progresses, the ecosystem of Vesta begins affecting Levi's programming, and slowly you start to see something fascinating happen. Levi begins to show curiosity, personality, and almost a sense of identity. Watching that transformation unfold was one of the most interesting parts of the entire series for me. And then there is the character of Kamen, who ends up in one of the strangest and most disturbing storylines in the entire show. Encounters a telepathic creature as we know as the Hollow, a psychic toad-like being native to the planet. And what unfolds between the two is basically a story about greed, control, and consumption. The relationship between Kamen and the Hollow becomes this twisted fusion of psychological manifestation and physical transformation. It's weird, it's unsettling, and honestly, it's one of the more unique science fiction ideas I've seen in a long time. Now, while I enjoyed most of the series, I did have one major issue with how the story wraps up. Once the show moves into the third act, the narrative introduces new characters and the plot elements pretty late in the game, at least for me. And for me, it felt like the main story suddenly got hijacked somewhat. Instead of focusing on resolving the arcs where we have been following for this season, it almost feels like the show shifts gears and sets up future storylines for a second season, which might have worked if that second season had actually happened. It's a real shame because despite the creativity, the world building, and the stunning animation, the series will never be renewed, at least at this point. Hopefully, it will get picked up by somebody so they can continue this series. Which is unfortunate because the universe they built on Vesta feels like it still has so many more stories left to explore and a lot of other things that they set up to explore within the future as well. But overall, Scavengers Reign is one of the most original science fiction series to come out in the streaming era, at least that I have seen so far. It's visually stunning, it's creatively ambitious, and it tells a survival story in a way that feels completely different from most science fiction shows that are out there. It may not stuck the landing perfectly, but the journey through this alien world was absolutely worth the watch. And honestly, if you're someone who enjoys thoughtful science fiction, this is definitely a hidden gem for you to watch. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next review. This is AR Movie Memos, and you guys have a good one.